A house divided will surely fall. I say this to admonish the opposition parties in Liberia. Liberia is truly at a crossroad. The decisions that Liberian makes today will either cause this nation to become a better place to live or a place to flee from. We can see today that the opposition parties are fighting against each other as well as amongst each other. If the opposition have decided to vote out the incumbent government, I think what they should do is to rally around each other regardless of the standard bearer, knowing that maybe each of these parties have someone they intend using as the leader, as the standard bearer to become president of Liberia. They need to rally together, go in for the elections, and then after the elections, if they go to the second round, they can all come together behind one candidate to vote out the incumbent. But I noticed over time that the opposition has been fighting each other with everything they have. Some of them have decided to even throw the kitchen sink at each other. But one thing they fail to realize is whatever is said between the opposition parties, the incumbent party or the incumbent government will definitely use that against them during the campaign time. So those of you in the opposition needs to be smart. You see, this is the problem with Liberia. This is the problem with Liberians. If we want our man or lady to win the election, we turn on the other person, making sarcastic remarks, stating that this person is trying to derail the opportunity of another person. I don't know where we got that from. Because if we actually want to move the incumbent, saying derogative things about each other within the opposition, and we all realized that even before it came to this, the opposition have been going to court. They have been accusing each other for so many other reasons. And today they have tried to come together from each coalition of parties to make it better so that they can remove the incumbent. Even now, at this time, the oppositions are still fighting each other. I believe they need to come to the reality that fighting each other will not do them any good. It only benefits the incumbent. So going on Facebook, YouTube, and other media platforms and saying terrible things about the opposition when you are part of that opposition or when you say you are part of the opposition, that is not wise. That is not a smart attitude. Unless maybe they come and claim that they are part of our party or political party because they are part of the incumbent, but they try to double play. So they come and say, oh, I'm for the opposition. And then they say bad things about the opposition so that the opposition can open up and say bad things too about the other opposition while the incumbent listening on and will and is using it against the opposition. Be it you part of Unity Party or CPP, or you are part of LINU or whatever other parties, I think you all need to come together Even if you all have your standard bearer, as I mentioned, you need to come together and stop saying things that are not right or that's terrible about the other person who's the standard bearer of the party. You see, we cannot continue to have a government like the CDC government that seems to be on a witch hunt. They go out there and say things that, I know your number, I know where you live, I know your mother, I know your father. So all these things you are saying about us, if you come to Liberia, you will see. That is threat. If you are an incumbent government, you need to have a thick skin. People will say things about you, regardless of what you say or what you do. You can do the best. Somebody will not be pleased or satisfied with what you have done or are doing. So instead of you threatening people, all you are doing is to stop people from returning to Liberia. Liberia don't have investors. Those who have left the country and traveled, studied, accomplished and achieved their aim and aspiration, and wants to return home, these people could be the investors for Liberia because they are Liberians. They bring in the technical know-how, they bring in their education, they bring in their finances. And that could help employment, help keep our city clean, and help bring development to those places that needs to be developed. Even the minds of our people, because people who left Liberia steady, they can go home and train our people. So why threaten them? Why cause others to listen to your threats and don't want to return home? I don't think that is a real wise attitude. You see, that is sure how small-minded and how illiterate a lot of us are that claim to be in government and say we are helping our government. You can't do that. That is not the right path to travel on. If you are a leader and you are with the incumbent, if you guys know that people are complaining and criticizing your government for what you are doing or what you are not doing, you need to take a cue from there and begin to do what the people want. It's for and by the people and of the people. I understand that the government, the president appoints city mayors and superintendents and whatnot, so they have the loyalty to the president, but not to the Liberian people. And that is dangerous. That is very, very dangerous. Because the voice of the people, as it is said, is the voice of God. So opposition, you need to come together, focus on what your intentions are. You have a platform, make known those platforms to your people and stop bickering among each other. Stop castigating the repetition or the name, saying, what did that person know? Who is this person? What education does she have? What can she bring to the table? And all of these things, when these people are already set as opposition to the incumbent government. I yet to hear the incumbent government criticizing some of the opposition. But the opposition fight among themselves instead of turning their whatever to the government and try to pinpoint those places that they have lapsed. They are fighting each other, and I bet you it will not reap a good result during the election. You know, the underdog always have people supporting them. And if you begin to say things about each other, guess what happened? The one who is not speaking a lot, that person could be the winner. Because that party have become the underdog party. And most people are sympathetic to such people or such party. So I want to admonish those of you who are speaking on various platforms, Spoon Talk and Focus on Liberia and GDEB, hard hit or whatever you call it. But there are other platforms that are out there. I want to admonish all of us that we must stop saying terrible things, castigating each other within the opposition, so that we have a chance, or so that you guys will have a chance of voting out the incumbent government. We realize there are so many things that the incumbent government could have done or should have done, and they never did. Now we need to try someone else within the opposition who will be able to take over this country and change it for the better. So I must let you know that the house that is divided will surely fall. Beware, Liberians.